So you figured out all of the details on what kind of lead generation agency that you're going to run. And all that's left to do now is find that first client. This can seem overwhelming, and it is, but I'm here to make your life a whole lot easier. Before anything else, there is a crucial point that you need to get down, and that is to understand who your target market is. Because ladies and gentlemen, a man without directions is a man without a plan. And a man without a plan is a man not on the road to 10K a month. The truth that no one tells you is that anyone can generate leads. Because thanks to social media, literally all of the clients that you could possibly need are at your fingertips. The trick is in understanding the metrics of how it all goes down. And that, my friends, is trifecta marketing. You're going to need 3 things for this to work: demographics, geographic details, and psychographic details. Now, the first 2 are pretty straightforward, like who they are and where they live. But psychographics is what really changes the game, aka their attitude and overall psyche. You need to get into your prospect's brain and figure out what they want, who they are. Once you know these things about your potential client, it's time to reach out, or, professionally and respectfully slide into their DMs. So the first thing that comes to everyone's head right off the bat is just going everywhere and every single place to reach out to people to pitch their services. But the problem with this is it's actually very time consuming, and honestly, it's a headache. But picture this. What if I told you that there was a huge gold mine filled with business owners who are actively looking for people to help them generate leads for their business? Facebook groups have emerged for businesses seeking to expand their customer base, build brand awareness, and foster meaningful connections with their target audience. By implementing the right tactics, you can tap into the vast potential of these communities to generate high quality leads. But for obvious reasons, Facebook might not be for everyone. Gen Z. Now, let's move on to platforms. I actually got my first client from a LinkedIn message. The best part about LinkedIn is that the typical users are usually professionals, decision makers, and executives at the companies that you want to talk to, which means that you're going to be talking directly with your potential clients. The first step here would be to create a powerful, engaging page offering your services and highlighting exactly what you do for the target market that you're going after. And remember, the biggest thing that it comes down to with any social networking site: network. Networking is going to be your best friend. What you're going to do every single day is send 20 LinkedIn messages to your ICP, which is the ideal client profile that you've chosen. You could say something like, "Hey, first name, saw," and then you would insert something that you saw on their profile that shows that you did research on them. We're helping businesses like yours add 5 to 10 calls to their calendars every single month on a pay per call basis, meaning you don't pay unless we book qualified calls. Worth exploring further? I'll show you the exact message I used to get my first client on LinkedIn, and you can go and try it out. Now, I know you might be getting bored, but if you want to make money, stick with me because this one's really going to be worth it. This is my favorite method by far. Cold email is a great way to drive leads, especially if each message is customized to each recipient of that message. The 3 key steps here are test, modify, and scale. So basically, learn from any failures and continue to modify the emails until you get a hit. And then once you have a hit, you scale the emails that are working. My biggest piece of advice here would be to use the 3 C's method, which is you say, "Hey, first name," and you put a compliment, and then you put a case study, and then you put a CTA, which is a call to action. Make sure to stay interesting and incorporate strong CTAs that are going to push them further down the sales funnel. Now, you don't always have to push for a call right away, especially in the first email. In fact, it might actually be better for you to use CTAs like, "Mind if I send some info over," or "Is this worth exploring further?" just to see if there's any interest. Your job as a lead generator or a salesperson in general is to trigger the least amount of sales resistance as possible for the prospect, meaning you don't want them to feel like they're being sold to. For example, when you walk into any store or any car dealership or anything and people say, "Hey, do you need help with something?" What's the answer you always say? you always say, no thanks, I'm just looking around. That's because we want to be left alone and we hate being sold to. That's similar to cold email. When you push for a call right away, you're going way too fast. You wouldn't ask a girl to marry you on the first date, would you? Exactly. And if something isn't working, get feedback from the market and iterate the offer over and over and over until you find something that sticks, because no two agencies are the same. And then take what you see is working and scale that. And now, Facebook. We all know what it is, and we've all seen those ads popping up on our feed. Most of us have even clicked those links to get more info, just for the heck of it. When it comes to reaching a vast audience with precision, Facebook ads reign supreme. With over 2.8 billion monthly active users, Facebook offers an unparalleled platform for lead generation. The key lies in leveraging the sophisticated targeting options that Facebook's ad platform provides. From demographic information to behaviors to interests to all of these other sorts of things, you can tailor your ads to reach whoever you want on Facebook. But I wouldn't recommend Facebook ads for everyone, especially if you're just starting out, because it is super expensive to get off the ground and it takes a lot of upfront capital to get started with ads. Okay, so one of the best methods by far is cold calling. And let me tell you why. I know most people are too scared to cold call because of the immediate rejection and the anxiety that comes with it. But here's the catch. If you can do it, you're guaranteed to sign your first client 10 times faster than everyone else. You're going to need to focus on two things here. Number one is which niche you're targeting, and number two, figure out what their definition of a lead is. Every business has a different definition of a lead. For example, e-commerce agencies want to work with brands, and accounting firms would want to work with other businesses. To make your life easier, I'd recommend using Seamless.ai or Rocket Reach so that you could find those phone numbers a lot easier. Call each lead on your list using this script, and I'll attach it in the description below. Hey, is this John?
Yeah.
Awesome. This is Faizan calling from Outbound Gen. This is actually a cold call, but if you just give me like 30 seconds here, I'll explain why I called, and then from there you could tell me whether it makes sense to keep talking or not. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I guess so.
Awesome. So like I said, my name is Faizan and I'm with Outbound Gen. What we do is we help businesses like yours get more qualified sales calls every single month using cold email. We usually work with businesses like yours because they're usually seeing one or two of these problems. The first one is they have a lack of sales calls every single month and they just want more opportunities to close revenue every month. So we help them book more calls, which will lead to more closed revenue. Or number two, they've been growing strictly relying on referrals and they don't want to continuously rely on that. They want to expand and see what else is out there and what else can help them grow. So John, for where you're at today, which one of those two resonates with you more?
I think number one, because the last time I got a call, I think it was from my Aunt Sally.
Oh, so how are you generating sales opportunities right now?
It's basically a newspaper ads getting us 1 to 2 leads a month on average.
So John, if we can fix this for you, what would that do for your business?
Man, it'll change my life. I can finally pay off my debt.
Sounds good, John. We'd definitely be able to help you generate more sales opportunities consistently every month. Let's set up a call sometime next week so I can learn a little bit more about your company. Does Monday at 3 p.m. work for you? Do you have your calendar open?
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I know that there's a bunch of other ways to generate leads for your agency, but if I were to list them all out here one by one, we would all be here forever. And if you were here forever, then you wouldn't have time to go out there and start earning money. So use one of these, get out there and get that first client. And always remember the most important thing. Failure is just a part of the process. So every time you fail, analyze it, learn from it, and then get back on your feet and go at it again with the new knowledge that you've gained. So best of luck to all you guys. And I will see you in my next video where I'll give more tips and strategies to help you on that path to making more money.